Big news, everybody. Hats are back in stock on sportingchancepod.com. Select t-shirts are $10 off and sticker packs are half off. Go get them while you can. And if you want to lurcher, head on over to Clover Creek Canine on Facebook and message our friend Sean O'Neill today. For your micro hawking and redtail supplies on the East Coast, visit mountainstatefalconrysupply.com. To get the tightest braided equipment on the market, visit midnightfalconry.com. And last but not least, to add a goshawk to your hunting arsenal, go on over to northmountaingoshawks.com today to put in your order for next year's hunting partner. All right. Welcome, everyone, to the Sporting Chance podcast. Today, we are joined by Mike Trizano. Mike is a hunter. He's an old friend of Casey's and the actual winner of one of the seasons of The Ultimate Fighter, which is crazy to me.
It's a very big deal. I wouldn't say me and Mike were friends. I think Mike was my my instructor. He would kick my ass, tell me I'm fat. You know,
he might describe you as a friend.
It's just my job.
Yeah, he's just doing his job, kicking my butt.
And while we're on the subject, Mike, how would you rate Casey's skills as a fighter?
He's an animal.
Such a lie, bro. I'll Venmo you later, bro.
I thought he might be.
No, I give credit where credit's due. You're strong as fuck.
And he's very he has a low center of gravity too, so taking him down is probably a challenge.
Bro, everybody sleeps on that, man. I'm so low to the ground, I can't even get taken down. It's great.
See, I'm 5'11", so I always think, like, if I get smushed, I would have a good center of gravity.
Yeah, man. So we just thank you for your time. Thank you for coming on the show. You had an awesome win in BKFC, right? That's the organization, bare knuckle boxing. Listen, I heard through the grapevine that you fought in UFC for many years, but I heard that BKFC pays real good. Is that true?
I'm doing well. Pretty much getting paid what I was getting paid in the UFC. I never really had a chance to, get momentum going when I was in the UFC. Like I had a fight, a couple fights, and I got hurt, and I was out for like 2 years. I had a couple of knee surgeries, and then I won my first fight back from all those being out that long, and then I lost 2 in a row. I had never lost 2 in a row in like my entire career. And then my last fight at MSG, the fight before that, I won fight of the night, even though I lost. And then so it kind of didn't lower my stock. And then the fight I had at MSG was a barn burner, double knockdown. That shit goes viral. I ended up winning by KO in the first round. So in my mind, I'm like, all right, I did enough to like renew my contract. Whatever doesn't happen, they're kind of giving me a run around. They want to see me because I missed weight that fight, and I've never missed weight in my career. I was only off by like a pound. I figured like they'd at least throw me a bone, but whatever. But I never really had a chance to like get going. How many guys have missed weight and are still in the UFC? One. And, I was starting to get my groove, and then that was it. So, I mean, it's whatever. Like, I don't really harp on it. I don't really care.
Yeah.
But, injuries suck. It's just the name of the game. And then I ended up having to get eye surgery right after that last fight because I got a detached retina. So it was like, I can't catch a break. But yeah, then I've been healthy. Then I did my first bare knuckle fight, won in a minute. And then I took another break because I became a cop. And then so I was gone for like a year because I was doing the academy and all that. And then once I got that situated, I did this last fight and ended out in 20 seconds. So I feel like BKFC kind of fits me.
Oh, yeah.
Are you still a cop, Mike?
Say it again?
Are you still a cop?
Yeah. Yeah.
And that would be a big mistake you think you're just dealing with your average cop and you're a bare knuckle fighter.
There's been a few times. There's been a few times guys were like, "Do you fight?" Like people that we're talking to, and they kind of calm down because they saw my ears.
Yeah, you usually don't want to resist arrest when the cop you're dealing with has cauliflower ear. That's usually a really bad idea.
Yeah, I mean, half the time, if like we have to put our hands on people, it's like people that it's almost like moving like a dummy. It's very easy.
Why is that? Because they have no skill?
Yeah, and half the time they're under the influence too. So like they're even more of like a limp noodle.
What town are you a cop in? I feel like I know this, but I can't put my finger on it. What town? Or do you not want to say?
I'm a cop in Elmwood Park.
Oh, in Elmwood Park. Okay, yeah. That's cool. Yeah, you get a mixed crowd over there.
Yeah, you get a little bit of everything. It's kind of it's fun, honestly.
Oh yeah, and you got the Parkway coming through there, so you got
Parkway 80. We're right next to Patterson, so it stays interesting.
Yeah, and you guys, it's weird because you guys, I got a bunch of friends that are cops, obviously Jimmy and everybody, but you guys like it crazy, right?
So I went to the academy with somebody who was a cop in Upper Saddle River, and nothing happens over there. I would lose my mind because I need to be busy. So Elmwood Park's a little bit of everything. There's days where it's calm and nothing's going on, and then there's days where, you don't stop for 12 hours. So it's you never know what you're going to get. That goes for any town, but I mean, we're constantly on the move. So for me, it's fun because I don't like to not be doing anything.
Yeah, you got to stay active. Yeah, it's weird because you would think people would want to be in like a lot of, officers would want to get a cushy job in like a safe, suburban town, but they say it's boring. And like the crazier towns, it's more fun, but there's a little more politics because you can't do, you know what I mean? There's all this stuff that goes into it.
Being a cop in Jersey is tough already. So no matter which way you go, whether it's a small, rich town or you're in a bad area, it doesn't matter your job. It's like you're trying to take care of business with like your hands tied behind your back.
Yeah, I would imagine that, especially in Jersey.
Yeah.
Mike, I've got a question about fighting. Unlike Casey, I have no background in it.
Aaron, have you ever been in a physical altercation? I don't think I've ever asked you that.
Yeah, I have.
Your brother doesn't count. And neither does your paw.
Oh man, I'd get my ass kicked if I fought my paw. But yeah, I've gotten in a few fights. But my question for you is: professional female fighters, right? Like, could they whip most average guys' asses?
Yeah, but size does have a factor.
All right, so
my thing is like, you see,
I'm 6'2", 230, right? I'm a pretty big guy.
He's a juicy 230 too, and he's got long ass arms.
So, technique does play a big factor, but at the end of the day, a big woman fighting in the UFC at the highest level is going to be like 150 pounds. That's a big girl. And that's after weighing in. So like,
shoot, that's not a big girl where I'm from.
Well, it just comes down to like, there's just such a significant strength difference between a male and a female. Not saying that they wouldn't be able to hold their own, but
yeah, even if they look jacked, they're not as strong.
They might be able to put you to sleep. You won't even know. But when it comes to like throwing strikes, a guy that's 230, 6'2", 230, that's going to be a tough one to handle for anybody. Anybody can get lucky with one punch.
You hear that? Those of you out there listening, all the haters out there listening.
Yeah, but I'd ragdoll you, even though you're 230.
Oh, I'm sure you would. Yeah,
yeah. I will say that, like in jiu-jitsu, it's different because we because I was friends with Jimmy, so he'd like, oh, come to the advanced class. I'm like, dude, I've been here for like a month. He's like, whatever, just come to the advanced class. You'll have fun. And like I'm rolling with guys like in the morning that are like professional. And I went against this woman. I think her name was Holland or something.
Yeah,
Mona Holland. And dude, she almost ripped my knee off, dude. And I was like, throwing people around in like, beginner jujitsu class, and I just went with her and I'm like, all right, lady. And she like did some little thing where she went underneath and I'm like, what are you doing? And then all of a sudden I was like tapping like as fast as I possibly could. It was crazy. Yeah. The technique does matter, but yeah, I know what you're saying. But I think like Amanda Nunes, dude, against like most dudes, like they're going to get pieced up.
Oh yeah. Especially dudes nowadays. A lot of dudes are soft, and that chick would put some dudes out.
Yeah, these guys are. Yeah, we're going through the weak men make hard times phase right now.
For sure. Yeah, for sure.
All right, so Aaron, where do you want to take? Aaron usually drives it because I'm a little ADD, and I'll just go down a rabbit hole with you for like 3 hours about wrapping your hands or something. And so Aaron kind of keeps us on track. So I don't know what direction Aaron wants to take, but I got a couple, little things.
I followed fighting back in like the, like Lesnar, Cain Velasquez days. So I'm no expert on fighting. I don't know much about current stuff, but I did watch The Ultimate Fighter, a few seasons of it. And when Casey said he knows the guy who won that, I was like, holy crap, man, that is crazy. That must
be a real feeling.
Yeah. So you had to, for those of you out there listening who don't know, and I'm assuming this hasn't changed, these guys have to live in a house with other fighters, and it's ran by two coaches, one coach per team. So there's two teams. And they pick their fighters, and then it's basically like a tournament. The show is like a tournament, and then is the finale on the show or is the finale on a pay-per-view?
No, so the finale was like 3-4 months after the filming. So the way it worked is I went to tryouts. Tryouts were, you did a 1.5-minute grappling round in front of like a bunch of people that work for the UFC and a couple of matchmakers. Then they called a bunch of names, and if they called your name, you moved on to the next phase. Everybody else left.
How many? Sorry, Mike. How many people are trying out for the show?
Thousands. Yeah, there was a lot of people because it was in Vegas. So the tryouts were in Vegas. A lot of people from all over the world were flying out there for the tryouts. And so you do the grappling. It was 1.5 minutes. So, I mean, you can't really do anything in 1.5 minutes. So it's 1.5 minutes of just chaos. And then, they call your name. If you call your name, you move on. If they didn't, see you later. And then the next phase was just hitting pads for 2 minutes. And they had like everybody hit pads at the same time. And then, again, they call your name and you move on to the next phase. Everybody else, see you later. And then the last phase, they just did an interview with you because they wanted to see how you could talk and if you had like a personality and stuff. And then same thing, they called your name. If they called your name, you stayed, and then you stayed the rest of the week. And they did like all fight medicals and stuff just to make sure you were able to do the show. And then they sent you home, and they said, and the final amount they had was 32 people. And I think they were getting it down to 16. So 32 people stayed the whole week. And then they called 16 people after the fact to tell them that they made the show. So then like the tryouts were in like October, January, they called me. They're like, yeah, we picked you for the show. We want you there. Filming starts February 1st. So I flew out there and I was gone for 6 weeks. No contact with anybody. They took my phone, they took my wallet, everything. And gone. 0 dark 30, 2-a-day training sessions, and no contact with the outside world.
Jeez. I feel like you get really good doing that. Just to have no distractions and just focus.
Honestly, it was an awesome experience. Anybody who wants to get to the UFC and stuff, I recommend that because it's a great opportunity. One, you get to learn under some guys with a lot of experience, depending on who your coaches are. And, you get to see a different perspective on the fight game. So, it kind of takes you out of your comfort zone, not where you're normally training with your team. And it's good to see how other people approach the game. So, I mean, I made a lot of great connections, and lot of friends through that. So I think it was an awesome experience.
Who was your coach?
My coach was Stipe Miocic. Our coaches were Stipe and Daniel Cormier.
I know who Cormier is.
Yeah, it was cool. He was a very nice guy. He actually, because he's big in the wrestling world, he brought in one of the days he brought in Jordan Burroughs, and Burroughs taught a wrestling class, and he brought both teams in. He was like, everybody come and take the class. And it was actually pretty cool.
I was telling Casey, I think I read that Brock Lesnar, rather than fight him, retired.
I don't blame him.
Which that's a bad dude if Brock Lesnar would rather retire than fight you.
Look, Brock Lesnar's an absolute freak of nature, but there's levels to the fight game. I mean, Lesnar's a freak athlete and was able to pick up fighting, but like he had no stand up. Cormier definitely had better stand up, and Cormier definitely has better wrestling. I mean, he's an Olympic level wrestler. There's levels. No matter how many times he wrestled, he was not going to be as good as that guy.
Yeah. So the season I remember the most watching was the finals was Brendan Schaub versus Roy Nelson.
Oh, we're going back.
And at the time, I didn't know anything. Well, nobody knew anything about Brendan Schaub. And then he turned into like, I don't know if you know him or if he's a friend of yours, but like the biggest clown ever.
Brendan Schaub? No, I never met him.
Brendan just, I mean, like the podcast that he has is funny, but it just seems like he tries too hard with everything he does. Like I didn't watch any episodes for a while, and then I like clicked on it like a year later, and now he's got like highlights in his hair and stuff. I'm like, all right, bro, like we get it.
I honestly don't even watch a single thing he posts.
No. And so many people hate him. I feel so bad. And then like his stand up, like comedy, but I mean, whatever. I did have a question. Is there like a prerequisite to go to the tryouts for Ultimate Fighter?
Yeah. So it depends. Each season's different. Our season, you had to be undefeated and had a minimum of 4 fights as a pro. So everybody on the show was undefeated, and which was a cool concept for our season. I'm sure they do different stuff for other seasons. I don't know what the other requirements were, but for ours specifically, you had to be undefeated.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, I was just wondering if like the homeless guy in the Vegas Strip could just like stumble in there and be like, "I'll fuck you guys up." Like, like, I don't know. I don't know exactly. I figured there was something like that would like limit who could try out.
I mean, as long as he didn't have a loss, maybe if he could sell a fight.
What about bum fights? Yeah. Do those bum fights count? I don't think so.
I mean, they'll pay anybody who could sell a fight.
That's the other thing I wanted to ask you. And when you were kind of talking about UFC getting momentum and then the renegotiation, do you think that like the modern kind of like the Conor McGregor thing, like even Chael Sonnen was that way, like really hyping things up, saying crazy stuff, and like you guys are not really like that. Like, because I was telling Aaron, like Tiger Showman's MMA, like it was Tiger Showman's karate first. So there was like a level of like respect and like that kind of thing. Do you think that had something to do with, re-upping the contract, something like that?
No, I don't really know, to be honest with you. I've never been a shit talker. I'm not very good at it. I'm more of like, I think of a comeback an hour later type deal. So I'm not going to force it, because you can tell when someone's trying to force talking shit and all that.
It's so bad. It's so
horrible.
terrible.
Horrible. I'm not good at it. So I don't do it. I stick to what I do. How I act is how I act, and that's it. I never did it for fame anyway. I just did it because I enjoy it. And if fame happened, it happened. But I'd rather be unknown. I want people to leave me alone.
Yeah, it's good, man. That's a good point. So,
Casey, would you rather be unknown?
Yeah, man. I think that this whole thing of like being like people trying to get famous, I don't think they realize like how annoying it is. Like going out and stuff, and
take it from someone who knows, right?
No,
Casey can't go anywhere.
No, not me. The problem is people find out like especially like plumbers, because I'm in the supply house all day and there's like 50 plumbers in there, And then like word gets around like, oh, he flies birds. So then everybody's like, oh, dude, oh, tell me about your birds. And I'm like, oh, dude, just give me my stuff. I got to go. But that's like, Mike, like Conor McGregor walking around. It's like, might as well be like Tom Cruise or something. It's good. Like people are going to go nuts.
Yeah. Everything's got its pros and cons, right? So, I mean, in my mind, I feel like that has more cons than pros. You can't go anywhere in public, at least by yourself. There's crazy people out there. It's a wild world we're in right now. So like, God forbid, you have to have bodyguards, people with you 24/7, and it's annoying.
Man, try being the number one falconry podcast in the world.
Dude, they're trying to find us, man.
Are you guys really?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, that's awesome.
By a long shot. These poor people are trying to they're doing everything they can to try to like be interesting, and it's just not working. So
So Casey, does that scratch your fighting itch, or do you have anything else fighting related you want to talk about?
I did have one last question, and the audience is going to like this one. Have you ever been in any street fights? You can plead the fifth or whatever. But I know, like, obviously being friends with Jimmy, and we know how Jimmy can get, at least back in the day. And we were in a couple different situations. I was just wondering if you've ever been in any after you knew how to fight, and like after you were like legit.
Yeah, there's been a few. I'd say the last one I was in was actually at Brady's in Ramsey. This is like over 10 years ago. And actually, I wasn't even involved in it. One of my buddies was like in an argument with another guy. It was over something stupid, like he bumped into his girlfriend or something. They were like going outside to like fight each other. And then one of the guy's buddies was like walking around, fist clenched, like he was going to, snuff my buddy. So I pushed him away. I was like, listen, let them handle it. Like, they're two grown men. They can figure it out. And the guy like got in my face. Oh, what are you going to do? I was like, I'm not going to do anything, but you're not going to do anything either. I was like, just get out of my face. And he's like, he's like hammered. Dude can't even talk. And I was like, get out of my face or I'm going to knock you the fuck out. And he grabbed me by like the collar. And I grabbed his hand and I pulled him into my fist and dropped him, got on top of him. I went to go hit him. And then I get picked up. I like levitate. And like the bouncer is like, this huge dude just picks me up, carries me to the bar. He goes,
he's like 6'2", 230.
Something like that. Yeah. Big man. And he's like, I saw everything. You're fine. Go inside and have a beer. I was like, okay. That was the last one I was in.
Yeah, that's nice when that happens. I had a bouncer one time grab me, try to drag me out of what was that super sketchy place where you could party, you could drink. There was like heroin. There's probably like Ukrainian drug lords in there. It was on Route 4 right before you get on the George Washington Bridge, and they shut it down because there was like a big bust in there like 20 years ago, and they reopened it with like a slightly different name.
Oh,
it was like my dad would go there when they were young, and then they shut down and opened back up.
Oh, what's that called?
You know what I'm talking about? Right there's like a bunch of hotels and sketchy stuff going on there.
Yeah. Damn.
Yeah, I can't remember the name, but anyway, some guy was going ballistic, like belligerent, trying to like go nuts. He was like pushing everybody. I was trying to get my jacket because we were leaving, and he like pushed me, and I pushed him back, and then all of a sudden this giant bouncer, 230, tall, 6'4", 230. It was like this big black dude grabs me, picks me up by my throat, like in a headlock, and picks me up. And I'm like, I'm like 5'10", 5'11" maybe on a good day.
5'12",
5'12" and a half. Yeah, 5'13". That's good. And so my feet are like hanging like a kid, and he's walking me out, and I'm like trying to like breathe. And yeah. I'm like, dude, I'm good. I'm not even drunk. I'm just, he was pushing me, whatever. And he's like, I don't give a shit. And then I got like pissed off. And then the second my feet is a true story. The second my feet touched the ground, I shot my hips back and literally smashed his face on the cement, because he wouldn't put me down. I was like choking, and I'm like, dude, I'm good. And I kept telling him like, it's okay. I can walk out. And then when I did that, then he charged at me. All his bouncer friends grabbed him. Then I started I was like yelling at him, like, why didn't you let me go? Like, I'm not, I wasn't causing any problems. And then this Asian kid walks by and starts smiling. And this is a really bad story. I shouldn't even tell this story. This Asian kid he was like, straight A Asian kind of guy. You could tell he was like elitist, and he's like smiling at me like stupid white guy. And I'm like, what the fuck are you looking at? So I start yelling at him. He starts laughing. Then he starts like doing this thing. And like a bunch of his friends come out. All my friends come out. And then like literally, this is a true story. We got in a huge like Dominican guy, white guy, Trinidadian guy, Armenian guy versus like 10 like Asian dudes. And and then like the drinks that I had inside started to catch up with me. And I remember the kid came up behind me because I woke up like in the truck on the way home because he punched me in the back of my head and my ear, like right behind my ear, and I dropped. And then supposedly my friend Danny, who I think you met, he trained, he did Tiger Showmans too. He apparently beat like the shit out of five of the 10 of them, like one after the other, like smashing them. And then Nick, I'm not gonna say his last name, but Nick, the Trinidadian guy, he was like trying to do like jujitsu on them, but he was getting the shit beat out of him. And then this kid picked us up. That was, we already texted him to come pick us up, and they picked us up. And I don't remember anything. I just remember guys circling around behind me and then waking up like in the pizza shop, like in Fort Lee. It was so bad, dude. It was so bad. Street fights are not good, so don't do them. But
you never know. It could be freaking Mike Trizano there that's going to kill you.
I never really start any fights. Am I? You know what I mean? Like I never would try to start fights with anybody. Like I'd always try to be like, dude, relax. Like I don't want to fight.
I train all the time. Why the hell would I want to go out and then get into a fight?
Yeah, me too.
That's what would end your career. Somebody would get a lucky one and like make you go blind in an eye or something.
Yeah, it's not worth it.
Yeah, or they'll just never live it down. Like what BJ Penn getting knocked out that one time in that bar. It was like 15 years ago, and they still bring it up that he got knocked out by some guy. All right, I'm done with that. So we can switch gears.
Like I said, anybody can get lucky.
That's right.
All right, so we prefaced all this by saying you're also a hunter. What's your primary sport?
I like to bow hunt. That's like number one. I'd rather bow hunt. You told me I could never rifle hunt ever again. It wouldn't bother me. Bow is my favorite.
What is it with fighters and people in the fighter, world being into bow hunting?
Well, I've been hunting since before I started fighting. So, that's just the life I grew up doing. My uncle and my cousins all are big time hunters. Like my uncle goes all over the world hunting. He just completed his North American Grand Slam, which is like,
I know the Turkey Grand Slam, but what's the North American Grand Slam? Like elk, whitetail, mule deer, something like that?
Yeah, it's all like the big games, but he also just got all of his bighorn sheep kills, which are like that. I mean, sometimes people don't even get a tag in a lifetime for some of them because they're so hard. Plus, they're so expensive. But he got there's like I think 4 or 5 different bighorn sheep. There's like Rocky Mountain, Desert Bighorn. I can't even name all of them.
So that's the slam he completed.
Yes.
Okay, so that's a huge deal. That's actually a huge deal because that means he went to Alaska. He went after those big white ones with the little horns. That's that's one of the most difficult, physically demanding slams to get in the hunting world. That's a big deal.
Yeah, because all those sheep are in places like you can't even hike. They like stand on cliff sides and stuff. Like you have to shoot them from at least like 500 plus yards away. And like they go up those mountain peaks in like 30 seconds where it would take you like 5 hours to hike. It's crazy. So they're tough. Yeah.
And they'll see you from a mile away. They have really good eyesight. You got to what do they say? They say you got to get above them, right? Or something. Cause you get above them and they never look up because they're not looking for threats above them. They're looking down. That's like their defense mechanism.
Yeah. I mean, I know he took like a helicopter up one of the mountains one time just to get above them. Like it's crazy. These hunts. My family's been hunting forever.
That was expensive.
It's not a cheap hobby, that's for sure. But I mean, I'm 0 for 2 when it comes to elk hunting. I've been dying. I was trying to get out this year, but it didn't happen. I'm going to try and go out next year and get an elk.
So when you say 0 for 2, did you actually go out there to get one?
2 hunts is nothing.
Oh, that would depress me.
Yeah, I went 1 rifle and 1 bow. So the rifle hunt I did was in Colorado with a bunch of my buddies out there, and I shot one, and we couldn't find it. We tracked it. It was like big. It was like the first 3 days was like an absolute blizzard, 13,000 feet up. We were in tents. It was horrible. Looking back, amazing trip. At the moment, terrible. But I mean, like we had a bonfire going, and like I could be standing in the fire, and I was still cold. Like it was brutal. And I shot the elk. I was sitting on this peak overlooking this valley, and I saw them coming over the ridge in front of me. It's like a herd of them, and I shot one, and I drilled it. I know I hit it good because it bled like a motherfucker. And I think because it was my first ever elk hunt, I went to look for it too soon, and I think I made it. I spooked it, and it took off. I mean, I hiked about 10 miles following a blood trail, like a thick blood trail. There was a couple, I have pictures of it. There was a couple times where it laid down and it had a full blood body print in the snow. And it was smart because it was trying to clot the wound or whatever. And then eventually, like, I had to leave. I had to catch a flight. So I had to cut the track short, but like the blood trail never stopped. It was depressing.
That's there's people don't know this, and Aaron, I don't know if you, because Aaron, you did a little deer hunting here and there, right? Not too much.
Mostly into rats.
Okay, okay. So just for the there's literally nothing more depressing than following a blood trail and not finding what you shot, and just continuing, and then like the games that your brain plays on you, and like you go back and remember the shot, and you're like, it must have done this. You know, it's just the most depressing thing. And then when you don't find it, like you feel like a terrible person. It's so bad. It sucks.
When we were tracking it too, like there was like 2 or 3 times where I was like, oh, it's definitely close, because there was a lot of blood, like poolings of blood. And I'm like, oh, it's got to be close. Like it's slowing down. The blood trail never stopped, and it was never to be found. And I was pissed. and then fast forward 2 years, I go on an elk trip in Wyoming. And so my uncle, who I said is a big time hunter, he has a ranch out there, and we go hunting out from there. So we do like a 8-mile horseback ride through the Grand Teton Mountains, and they set up base camp in the thoroughfare, like right outside Yellowstone. Well, when I say right outside Yellowstone, it's like a good 20 miles away from Yellowstone. But and that's where we said, it's the middle of nowhere. It's freaking incredible. And we hunt by horseback. That's sick. And I did bow. And every day I saw about 3 grizzly bears. They're everywhere. The closest we got was probably like 20 yards from one. And like they're just the biggest things you'd ever see in person.
That's scary.
Terrifying. They maul people all the time, because they don't care. They just walk up to you. They know that no one's going to fuck with them, and you can't hunt them. They're protected. You can't hunt them in the lower 48. You can only hunt them in Alaska. It's the only place you can hunt grizzly bear.
Yeah.
They talk about opening up a hunt, but as you could imagine, there's always big opposition to it.
Well, yeah, because the people that live in the city don't understand. And those are the people that are voting for this stupid shit. Meanwhile, you go out where we are, and there's literally like, you see more bear than you do like squirrels. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. And they're like minivans.
Yeah, yeah. You see any wolves while you're out there?
No, I didn't see any wolves. They're very difficult to see. Like they're always like, if you see them, it's from like 1,000 yards away, and they're at full tilt sprint.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I saw doing a little research on you. You're known as the lone wolf. What's up with that? Tell us about that.
Because when I'm in the cage, fighting. I'm a lone wolf in the cage. I gotta survive and adapt to whatever is thrown my way.
Oh yeah.
The lone wolf sounds. It's the good nickname. It's a good nickname, but in reality,
it's shitty.
No, wolves they do best in a pack. So you should have been like the lone like mountain lion or something, because they use technique. They're real slick and sneaky. Like the mountain lion would have made more sense for you. I seen you fight, man. So
of course he'd do better in a pack. Imagine if he had his boys in the cage with him. It'd be easier.
That's a good point.
It'd be a wrap.
No, but it sounds way better, and it's right on par with your personality. Now I want to go back to like, how did you get? So your uncles got you started hunting. Your dad didn't. Nothing like that.
No, so my uncle was a big time hunter. My dad was like the camp chef, so he would go there and he would cook and just hang out with everybody. But
at least your dad was there. My dad was driving his bus.
Yeah, no, it's because of my uncle and my cousins that I got involved in hunting. So, we started. He had like this small shack of a hunting cabin in upstate New York, and then eventually he built it up to be this like, it went from like actual like in the woods hunting, the terrible shack, no heat, to being this like giant lodge. And then it turned into like, all right, now we're spoiled.
Oh, that's awesome.
but it was cool to see how it changed. But then eventually, he went out and did his thing out in Wyoming. So now we hunt out of there, which is freaking awesome.
Oh yeah. Wyoming is a special place.
Favorite place on earth.
Do you ever see golden eagles while you're out there? Would you know what you're looking at if you did?
I've never seen one. I've seen a lot of bald eagles, but not golden.
That's that's the only place that falconers can trap an eagle is in Wyoming.
Really?
It was very special permission. You gotta.
I'm sure. Would you gotta get like permission from like the natives?
No, even worse. You gotta get permission from the federal government.
Oh yeah, there you go.
The Indians would be easy. We could deal with the Indians. We just, we've been doing that forever. We just, we talked about it. We talked about that on the episode. We got canceled on the last episode, so I'm not going to say the same stupid jokes that I said on that episode. But
Casey inquired if you could barter with them. If you could trade goods with them for an eagle.
It's a valid question.
Yeah, goods as in paper goods.
Yeah. So, all right, I want to wrap this up with you getting started in hunting. A lot of people think of New Jersey. They think of, Jersey Shore, degeneracy, partying, trash.
Sopranos.
Yeah, Sopranos. Like where are you going out hunting? How did you find spots? What your uncle kind of, I'm sure, guided you in the right direction. Did you ever go out on your own and try to find your own little area and check maps and stuff like that?
Yeah, so I grew up mainly hunting in New York, and because we had private land, so I didn't have to deal with other hunters. Like the other hunters I dealt with was family, so it was fine. But like Jersey, unless you know somebody, you have to go public land, and it's crowded. So it's tough. Where I live now is a little bit easier. It's still crowded, but there's a lot more places I can go because it's not as populated as like North Jersey was. Like you go in North Jersey, like every like 20 yards, there's a tree stand, someone's in it. Like you're not going to see anything. So I'll go out by myself sometimes, but I've been lucky to have private land, so I didn't have to deal with that. But in Jersey, like there's a lot of places to hunt in Jersey. Like Jersey, for people who don't know Jersey, it's mainly farmland and just open land, wilderness. There's like a small pocket where it's like Jersey Shore and Sopranos, and like they've linked us to New York City, but that's like a small piece of it. They've even talked about it like in other podcasts. Like Jersey's got the most black bears per capita than any other state in the country. Like there's so many, and it's mainly just the northern half of Jersey. There's so many.
Yep, believe me, I'm very much aware of that fact. Unfortunately,
Casey probably just battled a black bear today. That's probably why he was late.
I mean, it's a possibility. They're literally everywhere. It's out of control. Yeah, Mike, my dog got killed by a bear. while we were
I
hunting.
saw that.
Yeah,
it's terrible.
Yeah, man. It was literally in the parking lot
That's crazy.
right next to the parking lot. It was a brush pile, rabbit sign everywhere. Put the dog in the brush pile, dead. Why is a bear sitting there right next to like where there's thousands of people doing all this? That's crazy. It's absolutely out of control.
Yeah, there's too many.
Yeah, if you go Western Jersey, South Jersey, it's just like you said. It's just farmland. It's like beautiful.
Yeah,
can't really go wrong. But yeah, Jersey. If you wanted to get started in hunting and you're not going to bow hunt, you're pretty much screwed. Yeah,
you got to know somebody that has land that you can hunt on, because otherwise it's so crowded. They have it so restricted and regulated, it's good in a way, but at the same time, like there's just not enough space for people. So,
isn't Jersey the most densely populated state in the country?
I mean, it's got to be one of them.
I think that's what Phil and Paul said, Casey.
I think Bergen County is what they were referring to. Well, actually, it might be the most densely populated. I know the county is the most densely
Bergen
populated.
County alone has 1 million residents. Just Bergen County.
And it's not even that big.
No.
Yeah, it's absolutely crazy.
What would draw 1 million people there?
The city.
It's close to New York.
You have everything there. You want to go to the mountains, it's there. You want to go to the beach, you're not far from there. You want to go to the city, you're right there. Like, it's got you literally, that area has everything you need. You
want to get stabbed in Jersey City, walking to your car at night? It's there.
It's there.
It's there. You want to get mauled by a bear taking your trash out? It's there.
Piece of everything is there.
Yeah, literally, dude. It's crazy. Yeah, I moved a little bit out of the area of the Bergen County area, and it sounds like you did too, because you were in Ramsey for a long time, right?
Yeah, that's where I grew up, and I kind of wish I stayed, but at the same time, I'm happy I didn't. I'm out. I have my own space, but I'm still close to family and everything like that. So, I love it, and things are cheaper out by me.
How far out did you go, by Jimmy or further?
So I'm like an hour south of him.
Ah, okay.
So I'm like central West Jersey.
That's a good area. There's a lot of rabbit hunting out there, man.
Everything's out here. There's so many different wildlife out here too: foxes, hawks, owls, deer, bear. So there's been a couple spottings of mountain lions on Ring cameras, which is wild to see in Jersey.
Yeah, you can
tell
down.
People are like, "Oh, it's a bobcat," which there are bobcats, but you can differentiate because of the tail. Yeah,
things are changing, man. I was just shown not too long ago a trail cam in, I think it was like southern Adirondacks of a gray wolf just standing there on the trail cam.
That's awesome. I'm all about it.
That's like 4 hours away, not even from Jersey.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah, man. So what direction? Go ahead, Aaron.
I wanted to ask Mike if, be it living in such a densely populated place with bear, do you ever hunt bear?
Yeah, absolutely. You got a lot to choose from.
Actually, taxidermist just called me today. My rug's ready to pick up, Casey.
Oh, that's sick.
Mine's still in the freezer.
We
better get on that, man.
I used to go bear hunting up in Maine all the time, and that was sick. That was so much fun. A lot
Were
up
you
there
using
too.
hounds up there?
So we were, we would track with dogs sometimes, but we would always just bait. Like, they would set up like 50-gallon drums of like crushed up jelly donuts and stuff, and then we would go and we'd shoot them with bow or rifle, whatever you wanted to hunt with. That was fun.
Was that through your uncle also, or do you have like an outfitter or guide? Is there somebody up there good? Because I've been thinking about going up there myself to hunt bear.
Yeah, we did it through a guide. I mean, I went with my uncle, but it was someone else's outfitters out there, and I mean, it was a lot of fun. It was in Grand Lake Stream, Maine, so it's like all logging trails. And what's cool is, like, once you got your bear, you would just take the carcass and then you would coyote hunt, which is fun too.
That is nice.
That's cool. That's very cool.
It's awesome. And then,
for some reason, I don't really think coyotes when I think of Maine.
They're in every state.
Yeah.
They're everywhere.
Yeah, they're every state, every habitat, but for some reason I just don't really think of them up there.
Yeah. No, it's fun because like they'll go crazy for those carcasses, man. And yeah, it's just fun.
So what do you take what you want off the bear and just and leave the carcass and hunt over it?
Yeah, we take everything. I took all the meat. Meat lasted me a while. I mean, the last time I had bear though was like during Hurricane Sandy because all our freezers and all the electricity went out, so we had to cook everything. So I had 4 bear quarters. We slow cooked them on a green egg. It made like pulled bear sandwiches. It was like the greatest thing ever.
Sounds so good. Bear is delicious. It's such an underrated game meat. People don't realize how good it is.
It's unbelievable.
Oh, Casey, we know what the real underrated game meat is.
Yes, we do. And you'll never guess, Mike.
Let's hear it.
I've eaten a lot. Elk, whatever. The best thing that I've ever had, like just.
Now, when you say that, you mean honestly, that's the best game meat you've ever had?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. By far. Yeah, by far. No, that's, yeah. But I'm not talking like, slow cooked stuff that hides it. You know what I mean? Like stuff that we do. I'm talking fresh in a cast iron pan with a little butter, some salt and pepper, medium rare, pulled out, cut into strips. Best thing you'll ever taste in your life is beaver backstraps.
Dude.
By far the best. Just melts in your mouth like you're at a steakhouse. Insane.
I want to try that. I'll try anything.
Dude, you would never think that, and it's so good. And I had it at Aaron's house. His wife made it. It was delicious.
Damn, that's crazy.
And that's how you know it's good when it's not, it's not slow cooked. It's not like a soup. It's just literally just the meat, little heat, salt and pepper. So good, delicious.
I tell you what, we ate when I went elk hunting in Colorado. We shot a couple doe, and then we butterflied the hearts and like just seared the outside and ate them like rare. That just a little bit of salt on them. That was incredible. One of the best things I've ever eaten.
Yeah, I like the heart over the liver, to be honest.
Yeah,
liver's good too. Taste. Yeah, it gets a little much. It depends what mood I'm in. It's got a distinct flavor to it.
Yeah, it does.
I like liver. I'm a liver guy.
Like I said, I'll eat anything.
Yeah.
You cook it up.
I hate wasting things. I'm with you, Mike. I'm anti-waste. So I want to find a use for everything that I can.
Yeah, if I'm not going to eat it, I'll just give it to my dog.
There you go. I gave my dog some beaver scraps, and people on Facebook were talking shit. They were like saying that I was going to make my dog sick or something.
Like is that giardia? The giardia is the bacteria, right?
I don't know if you get it from. I
got a crazy story about that about my cousin. He got that from. He went out. He was in Alaska. They were moose hunting, and he drank out of a river, and he got giardia. And he told me he was like on death's door, and they were literally like hours from like a hospital. He got it on like the last day, and from the last day to like a week, he was just out both ends, liquid, just for a week. He said it was like the most miserable thing he's ever felt in his life. Just and after a certain amount of time, like nothing was coming out. It was just pain.
He probably saw this like crystal clear, like rocky stream and thought, "Oh man, clear water."
No, you got the big rivers you don't want to drink out of.
They call it beaver fever for a reason.
Oh, there's something upriver always.
Mike, did you not to go back to fighting, but did you? Because you posted a decent amount of hunting stuff when you were like in the UFC and stuff like that. Were you nervous at all being open about that stuff? Because that was kind of before like Rogan, you know what I mean? And the reason why Aaron was asking what's with fighters and bow hunting, because you can see like a lot of people are like, it almost looks like they're like trying to do it for an ulterior motive, like to look cool or like fit in with like to get on the Joe's podcast or something. You know what I mean? Like, I've noticed that a little bit.
I personally think I talk about what I do, and I've just been doing it for my whole life. Like, it's not like I just picked it up because I saw everybody else doing it. Like, this is what I grew up doing, and I just shared it. I don't really give a shit what people think. You can talk all the shit you want. It doesn't bother me. And no, I didn't really care at all, to be honest. You want to know what I'm up to? If I'm not in the gym, I'm trying to go out and I'm in the woods. So that's the life I live, and I love it. Even though I honestly, I haven't been out recently in a while. I just haven't had time, between having kids and, just life in general. But, I'll get back out there.
Yeah, it's like me with training.
Yeah,
I haven't been in there.
Something's always gonna give, So, but I'll be back out there because I got to get a new bow anyway. So I've been shopping around, and I'm gonna get back out there.
What were you shooting, and what are you thinking about getting?
Dude, I've had the same bow for like the last 15 years. I've had the Mission Endeavor by Matthews. It's like one of their most basic bows. I never needed a new one. I always just I took good care of it, took care of the strings. But now I'm at a point where like the bows now are like so advanced. I'm like, it's 15 years is probably time to get a new one.
Get a Hoyt Carbon.
I want something very light. And the bow I have now is heavy. I mean, it was made like 15 years ago. So, I mean, what they're using now is so much better.
Yeah, my brother got a Hoyt. The reason why I say that is because, number one, I'm a Hoyt guy. Matthews is all right, but I think Hoyt's better. And the Hoyt Carbon is literally like holding your iPhone in your hand. It's stupid. It's insane. It's like it's cool. Not even like
what's the max poundage you could pull on that though?
Oh, I mean, you could pull whatever you want. I mean, my bow, I had it tuned for like 70, which is way too much, but it's just tuned for 70. You could have it tuned for whatever you want, I would imagine.
Yeah, I mean, I usually go between like 70 and 80.
I don't think that's a problem. I think my brother's at like 68 or something.
Yeah, I mean, 70s takes down anything. So, but for elk specifically, I want it a little closer to 80, just preference, because I feel like I need to be a little bit more on, and I want a little more pop behind the arrow. But I mean, I'm 0 for 2, so I guess it really doesn't matter.
Yeah. You can go down the rabbit hole with that, with faster bow. Guys like lighter, everything light, a lot of poundage for a quick arrow to get on target before they get jump the string. And then there's a whole other philosophy of heavier arrow, so it has more penetration, broad, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like a never ending thing, Yeah.
I think the most important thing is that you have the lightest equipment, because if you're hiking, weight kills. So I want the least amount of weight possible, so I'm not getting tired. The second thing is I want a broadhead that's going to cause a lot of trauma. Other than that, those two things are like the most important to me. Everything else is kind of just like extra shit that is unnecessary. If you cause a lot of bleeding and you're lightweight, I think you get the job done 9 out of 10 times. So
100%. But fixed blade versus expandable, those things, like, they'll open up to like 2.5 inches in diameter and just rip a hole, but they're unreliable sometimes, depending on what you're hunting. Fixed, right?
Yeah.
I agree. I think fixed is the way to go. What do you think, Aaron?
Fixed, baby. It's all about fixed.
No.
Do you forget that I used to be an youth archery champion?
That's not that hard to do.
My dad owned an archery shop when I was a kid.
And was he the judge?
No, my mom was the judge.
Yeah, even worse.
I tell you what, my goal, I'm so into bow hunting that my goal is I want to eventually work my way down and go from compound bow to recurve to longbow. And I want to kill an elk with a longbow. I want to go, I'm trying to go as primal as possible. And that's my goal. I want to kill something with a just straight up bow and arrow.
We know a guy. Right, Casey?
We sure do. Well, you probably know him too, Mike. Bear Newcomb.
Yeah.
Clay Newcomb's son. I mean, that guy, he makes his own bow, then makes his own arrow, and then naps his own tips out of, what is it, obsidian?
Yeah.
And then goes out and shoots a bear with it.
That's freaking awesome.
And kills it. It's insane. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, that's like the ultimate. I think like a stick bow, even a recurve, you know what I mean? I think that's like huge props.
I think that's next level, like making your own bow and arrow. Like that's a lot of work. Maybe I'll do that one day, but I'll just buy it for now.
Yeah, dude. Like you got a lot on your plate right now. You're fighting, you're pulling over drunk drivers. Are you teaching still?
Oh, yeah. Yep. Me and Jimmy both own the Tiger and Short Hills, so I have the gym too.
Oh my God! All right, I got to come swing in.
You're welcome anytime.
What's the atmosphere like in there?
Dude, we have almost 300 active students training.
Oh my
place is bumping.
Okay. Because that was my gripe, and I even told Jared this. It was kind of like dads and kids over there in Nanuet. And I was used to like headquarters where like everybody was like trying to get not that everybody over there wasn't, but it was just, you know what I mean? When like headquarters versus like Nanuet, it was a completely different atmosphere. It was like guys running off the mat to throw up because of how hard we're working, you know?
Yeah. Well, that's a little different. You're training with all fighters, but every school is the other 99%. Do you know what I'm saying? So like most of our students it's kids, adults that are just training to get in shape or learn self-defense. We do have a handful of people that want to fight. So, we have young guys that are kind of coming up that we're getting amateur fights for and stuff. But again, that's like the bare minimum of most schools. Like, I mean, you have to be retarded to want to go in there and get your face punched.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, because it was it's just each location had like its own like little kind of like culture to it.
Yeah, for sure. But the people in our school are freaking, everybody's awesome. So, and I've taught at a lot of different schools, and this place is different. So
maybe I'll swing by, get my ass kicked, get strangled.
Let me know.
Yeah, it's been a while since I got strangled. I took a jiu-jitsu class. It was a Renzo Gracie school right here in my town. And it was great, but he started with gi. And I told him, whatever, I was a blue belt. I used to train all the time. Then I stopped, had kids and stuff, and I'm trying to get back into it. And this guy pulls out a gi for me to borrow for the class. This guy picked like 2 sizes too small. And I'm like, yeah, it's a little, I don't think that's going to fit. And like, I think he did it on purpose. Because, okay, so you guys like, I think he had a plan. Like he wanted to make me feel like fat and like chubby. But Aaron's laughing. But like, and I am fat and chubby. But it's like, he was like basically trying to show me.
Might not have though.
I think he was trying to show me like you could improve yourself, which I know I can.
So here's the other aspect of that. Guys in gi, especially if they're competing, will wear tighter gis because it's harder to grip. So if it's more fitted, there's not a lot of like leeway for the other guy to get a hold of your gi. So guys will wear tighter gis. That's why you see a lot of guys in competition. Like it looks like the flood's coming and their pants are like halfway up their calf because they're wearing smaller ones. So it's tighter. So it's a little bit harder for them. So they can't grab a lot of the clothing.
I got you. Yeah, the whole gi thing, because we didn't really do gi. What?
Your paranoia that somebody was out to get you.
Bro, I think he was, man. I was like hanging out of that thing. The belt like wouldn't even tie. And he was like, no, you're good. You're good. Like, I don't think the guy was trying to give me an advantage in my beginner class. You know what I mean? Even though I didn't belong there. He did put me with this big black dude, and I strangled that guy like 7 different ways to Sunday. And
oh, I bet you really
yeah,
like
it made
that,
me
didn't
happy.
you?
And that guy was trying to kill me, bro. I think he had some he was trying to show the white man something, bro. He was like going after me. And I almost had a heart attack because I'm so fat, but he couldn't do anything to me. I don't think he was trying to give me an advantage.
Going into a new gym with experience, you have to be careful because guys will just try and, tear your leg, and that's like the last thing you need.
Bro, and then I took I tried out another school, and I told them, I used to train at Tiger Showman's or whatever. And bro, I swear that this guy was looking at me like I was a spy. Is that like a thing that goes on?
Maybe. I don't know.
Because look, I used to do karate as a kid. You did karate, right, Mike? There was a time before all this PC garbage where, Sensei Vostini over on Kinderkamack Road in Oradell would show up at Tiger Showman's in Elmwood Park, and he would say, I challenge your best guy to my best guy, and they would literally fight on the spot. That was the thing.
Yeah,
that was the thing. Oh, yeah. They would just walk in the door with like 20 guys from the school, and they'd be like, this guy, he's roughly this much weight. I put him against any one of your guys in that weight class. And then they would they would literally fight like karate spar to see who was.
You sure this wasn't?
No, it's a real thing. It's definitely a real thing because I heard all the stories.
It used to be.
Yeah.
Used to be. But now it's like.
Was this the 80s or something?
So now it's like. Me personally, as a coach, I'm never going to hold someone back. So if they feel like they want to go and train in another gym, like I'm not going to tell them no. Like, sure, go ahead, go train somewhere else. Like, I'm not going to tell them no. I don't care. I don't have like an ego like that. Like, if you want to go, I'll be like, go. I'm confident in how good of my instruction is. You'll see the difference. You'll be back. Or if you want to do both, great. It's good to get a different perspective. Maybe the way I teach something you get, but then someone else can explain it differently and it will click better. That's just the way I look at it. So
that seems like a healthy way to look at it.
Yeah, Aaron's a counselor by trade, so it sounds like that's a very professional, well-adjusted way to view things, right, Aaron?
It does, and it sounds to me like you got a good head on your shoulders, Mike. You don't seem like a hothead. I bet that serves well.
That's because I got training in my life. That's why I like fighting. Calms me down.
Aaron is currently he's painting his toenails now, I believe, doing something off camera here.
I'm tying some nooses right now
for a trap, but I feel like I had something else I wanted to ask you, and I can't remember. Oh, this is what I wanted to ask you. Okay, so with like hunting culture and getting into hunting in New Jersey, like where would you recommend people start? You know what I mean? If they don't have an uncle that's super cool.
Like an area to start or like a type of hunting?
No, like what's the best step to do it? How do you think that they could get involved? Because there's a lot of people that want to get involved. There's like the homesteading thing. Homeschooling is making like a resurgence. People want to live off the land, know where their food comes from. And people that live in Jersey are a little demoralized. They're like, I live in Jersey. What am I going to do? What would you recommend as a Jersey, resident?
I would recommend getting a shotgun. Well, because Jersey's weird. You can't hunt with a rifle in Jersey. The only rifle you can use is muzzleloader. It's muzzleloader, shotgun, bow. So I recommend getting a shotgun. I personally do not like muzzleloader because I think it's retarded. But the muzzleloaders now, it's not like a musket. Like they shoot just as well as a rifle, but it's one shot. So I prefer bow because it's a bigger hunting season. But first timers should definitely get comfortable with a shotgun. Go out hunting with a shotgun. Then eventually get a bow, and start that way. And get your feet wet. Maybe even do some bird hunting. Just get comfortable being out in the wilderness because that's like the hardest part. People don't understand. Like even in 60-degree weather, you can get cold. So you got to be comfortable being out there for long periods of time. Make sure you have the right equipment. But I think starting with a shotgun is probably best. I mean, you can go either way, but you should definitely get comfortable with firearms first, because bow is easy. I mean, it's not easy, but it's not as intimidating. So I feel like you go with a shotgun, you feel a little bit more secure out in the wilderness, especially with bears and stuff, because you got a gun and not a bow. And get your first kill, and then start getting more involved that way.
On the subject of gear, are you a Sitka guy?
I'm whatever's going to keep me warm, because I hate fucking being cold. I've had the same pair of boots. I can't even tell you what kind of boots they are, because I haven't bought a new pair of boots in 15 years. Every single, that Colorado trip I said I was on, where it was 3 days of a blizzard, no matter what, we were cold and wet. My feet were dry the whole time.
That's the worst. Cold, wet feet. That's the worst.
Deal breaker. And I only had a regular pair of socks on. It was my boots and regular pair of socks. I didn't have crazy wool socks or anything like that. Just regular socks, boots. My feet were dry. That's, I think, what saved me.
Yeah, because that'll suck the life out of you when your feet are cold. Now I want to know what kind of boots they are, because I go through boots literally twice a year. I buy new boots.
They were the best. I'm probably going to have to get new ones, but I want to try and see if I can order the same ones, because I don't want to. My feet were dry. That's the best feeling in the world. Everybody else was hanging them over the fire, trying to get them to fucking dry. Mine were dry.
So getting good gear, getting a shotgun, getting your feet wet in the woods, and an easier thing. And shotgun season's 7 days?
Yeah,
roughly. Bird and small game. That's another thing. That's another good thing, actually. I just thought of is, because I'm thinking small game, I always just think of with my birds, but you can go out with a shotgun, right, for small game.
Yeah,
for a long period of time in New Jersey. So that's a good way to get your feet wet. Get out, shoot some cottontails. Maybe turkey hunting here and there, but turkey hunting, that doesn't really do much for you. What about you, Mike?
I've never been a big bird hunter. I've always done big game, small game here and there, but I've mainly been big game hunting. I just like the thrill of trying to take down something that is trying to avoid you. I don't know. And I never really had any, my family never bird hunted. So it just never was a thing that I tried to do.
Yeah, you're the lone wolf, man. No small game. But that's another good point. Is like I said, my dad was driving his bus, not taking me hunting. The guy was just working 20 hours a day. And I had a good, a family friend that hooked us up, taught me and my brother how to bow hunt, helped us get our bows. And without that, I mean, I would have been behind the curve a lot in learning. So I think finding people that that hunt, or your friend of a friend that hunts, talk to them, say, hey, your buddy killed a big deer, you said the other day, you think I could talk to him, point me in the right direction. And with falconry, we have a whole apprenticeship program. With hunting, you could just go out, buy a license, get a shotgun, and go hunting. But if you don't know your ass from your elbow, you're going to be struggling pretty bad.
Yeah, and honestly, now that I think about it, there's no hunting outfitters in Jersey. There's nobody really taking people out hunting. I feel like that's a hidden niche that someone could probably do well in here in Jersey.
I think Timber Creek. I think he takes guys out. Brian Melvin.
Brian. I don't even know, because I always went out by myself. So.
Brian Melvin, he killed that bear last year. That record-breaking bear.
That massive one.
Yeah, we did a full episode with him. It was great. Yeah, he broke down the whole story, everything behind it. He told us some stuff off air about some locals that wanted it, and they were trying to sabotage him with various assortments of bleach and veiled threats.
Jesus.
And he still ended up getting it. Crazy story. Yeah, crazy story.
Badass bear, man.
It was 770 dressed. The biologist said that it was 990 easily.
That's nuts. That's nuts.
Crazy.
But that just goes to show you, like in Jersey, they eat well. There's too many.
Yeah, we had a bear biologist on here from Jersey, and he kind of pushed back against us. He thought that they have plenty of habitat because we use the point that why are bears denning under people's houses? That sounds like there's not enough habitat. And he said that they'll do that even if they have all the habitat in the world. That they just decide they want to den under a house, and that's what they're going to do, even though they could have a cave in the woods they go into.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that, but at the same time, like, there's too many because they're not as spread out as people would think. Like, it's not spread out throughout Jersey. Like 95% of the population is the northern part of Jersey.
Yeah, you would think that bears, like the right number of bears, would be like it's a rare thing to see one, right? That seems right to me, but that could be untrue.
If you live in North Jersey, you see a bear often.
Yeah. I mean, I see one. I got literally every once a week. I have one at my house, a minimum once a week at my house doing something.
Yeah. they're all over.
Dude, I'm at work. I'm at work the other day. My wife sends me a video. There's a bear like walking through our backyard by the pond. And my wife's on the porch yelling at it. And she's like copying me, because she doesn't know what to do. So she's like, hey, bear, get out of here. And the bear wasn't even scared. He's like just looking at her, walking nonchalant by my chickens. And I'm like, dude,
they don't.
Yeah, it's just not good, man. It's just not good.
He's eyeing up those chickens is what he's doing.
Yeah, and he's going to get it. And yeah, Mike, open invitation. Speaking of my chickens in my yard, open invitation. I got 4 acres. You want to put a hole in a whitetail? Let me know.
Oh,
come onto the house. I cut some. I just put up a ladder stand. Cut a couple shooting lanes. They're every night. They come walking through.
He's got his bait pile.
Yeah, no, I do not. That's illegal. That's illegal in New York. My property is nice because I got a swamp, neighbor, kind of like houses, and then there's like a strip of forest that goes around the swamp, and that's where everything goes. The bears,
nice.
The deer. I got a trapping buddy. He's going to be here. I think trapping season opens in like a week or two. He's going to be here setting up some traps. He caught a marten right around the block, like literally like 100 yards from my back door.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's crazy. Oh no, it was a fisher. He caught a fisher, which is even cooler because it's and bobcats everywhere. Yeah, just Mike, just come to the house, climb up in the stand,
100%.
Put a hole in something. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Mike, what are your goals as far as hunting is concerned? Like game that you would like to take?
Well, definitely get my first elk. I have to get one. But one of the animals I've always wanted to hunt, what's it called? I want to get an ibex, a mid-Asian ibex. That's like one of the coolest things I've ever seen, and I want to get one of those. That's like on my
Texas
list. Yeah, but I want to go where like it's hard to get them.
Where would that be?
Like in Spain, in like the mountains in Spain.
Mike, I know a guy.
Do you?
Yeah, the guy who got me into hunting, that family friend, he now runs an outfitting business in Spain. So you literally just let me know. I'll give you his phone number. You could text him. Call him tomorrow, and he'll get you a flight and put you up at the lodge in Spain. I think it's something insane, like 10,000 acres or something. You'll shoot an ibex in the afternoon, then they'll do a red stag drive with dogs in the next morning, and then you'll kill some pigs, some Russian boars in the evening, and then they'll cook it all at the lodge and you'll eat it and then you fly home.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
I guess it's meant to be because it's funny how you know somebody there.
Oh yeah, and he lives right in Rockley, New Jersey, right by Closter and Tenafly.
Okay,
that's where he's originally from. So he's right in Bergen County, our neck of the woods. So.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah,
my brother shot a red stag in New Zealand.
Oh,
those things are cool. Yeah,
they're nuts. You ever hear their call?
Yeah, it's like this deep bellow.
What's it sound like, Casey?
I'm not going to shy away from making an impersonation. I just can't remember exactly how it sounds. I know an elk has this kind of like high pitch, like, and then
theirs is a little bit lower.
The red stag is more like, it's like, it'll kind of scare the shit out of you. It's like
if you
or something like that.
Sounds like a Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Like if you were in the woods and you heard that, you're like, that's Bigfoot.
It's just pure testosterone, it sounds like. If you just testosterone in an audible form, that's what a red stag sounds like.
Yeah, it's so cool.
Do you believe in Bigfoot, Mike?
No. I think that it existed at one point in time, but I don't think it's here now.
Do you think that the old Patterson Gimlin video, or it's not video, it's film, the black and white one on the creek, the riverbed?
I don't think that one's real. No.
I do.
Mike, if you came across,
I'm big into jumping down some rabbit holes. I think giants existed, and I think that could be what that is.
Giants is in how far down the are we going down the rabbit hole into Nephilim territory?
Oh, we could go as deep as you want.
You know what the Nephilim are? Do you know what that?
Oh yeah, I'm very familiar.
How's this for down the rabbit hole? My mechanic was telling me not to eat pink Himalayan salt because he said it's fossilized Nephilim meat.
Are you kidding me?
Dead serious.
Is he a good mechanic? He sounds like he's probably a good mechanic, though.
He's a great mechanic.
I was going to say, usually guys that are like spitting out like conspiracy theories while they're fixing something, they're usually really good at fixing it. That's just my personal experience. Maybe I'm speaking from personal experience with myself, but okay. But Mike, we have to ask this question. I mean, we have a professional combat athlete on the show. If you're out there stalking, you're in the middle of nowhere, you're in Wyoming, dude, and you're stalking through the woods by yourself. Your uncle and your cousins, they're all back. They're back at Spike Camp. They're grilling up some meat, and you're out there just trying to, stalk, slow hunting still hunting through the woods. And Bigfoot pops out. What would your initial attack be on him to dispatch him?
Putting an arrow through him.
He
100%.
He jumps to the side, misses the arrow, and now you got to go hands on with him. He's resisting arrest, basically. And you don't have any pepper spray. You have no taser. What are you doing?
Well, I always have a big knife on me. So we're going hands on. I'm definitely, if he kills me, he's going to be dying shortly after. So I'm taking him with me for sure.
Okay.
You would shoot Bigfoot if you saw him?
100%.
I think any listener out there, all the tens of thousands of listeners that are listening right now, if you see Bigfoot, you must put a hole in him. Shoot him, arrow him, I don't care, because all this BS stories and blurry ass pictures, just shoot him and then take a bunch of pictures, email them, text them out to all your friends, and then call the Sporting Chance Podcast first, obviously, and then you alert the authorities.
I mean, how many people have a Bigfoot jacket? Nobody.
Exactly.
I would walk out to the ring wearing that thing.
A cloak, we call it.
Hell yeah, a cloak. Exactly.
So you would stab him with a knife. If you had no knife, would you go? So my initial thought with a bear, right, is when it's bum rushing. This is just my initial thought as a fat, guy who used to do jiu-jitsu. Is I would sprawl, right? I would sprawl, push the head down, then transition to rear naked and try to strangle the bear unconscious. Is that your initial thought as well?
Yeah, I feel like it's going to be too strong to do a joint lock. So you have no choice but going for the throat. You have to. I mean, if it grabs me, I'm going guillotine. That might be honestly the first thing I could probably get. If I'm able to like duck under or something, I'll be able to get the back. So it'll be interesting.
So guillotine.
How tall is he? Like 9 feet tall, 10 feet tall.
Aaron knows the lore. What is the average height of a Bigfoot? Aaron's into this stuff.
I really don't know what the average height is. Like, let's say it was 8 feet tall, though.
all right, 8 feet tall. I'm definitely going to have like the lower center of gravity on him. He's probably not going to know any wrestling. So I'm going to go for like a single leg.
Single, not double? Well, yeah, I mean, he's so big, you can't do double. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, I'm not going to be able to grab both legs. So I'm going to single leg, get him off balance. And even if I don't take him down, I'll be able to get him off balance enough where I could get behind him, climb up. And then I'm honestly just everything's thrown to the wayside. I'm just jumping on him, going right for the choke. I mean, I'll get it pretty quick.
All right, so we're on the same page. That's my initial thought.
Oh, you're dead.
No, Aaron, what are you talking about? You telling me you sink in a rear naked choke on a Bigfoot, you're not going to put him out?
Just think about a gorilla. Could you do that to a gorilla?
I think Mike could do it to a gorilla.
Mike, could you take a silverback gorilla?
If I don't get behind him, I'm fucked.
We had a professional animal trainer on the show, Aaron, and he said that gorillas are pretty passive, and the way they kill you is they drag you through the forest by your leg, and you die from hitting stuff on your way through the forest. We went over this.
I remember. Honestly, honestly though, like they have like a natural wrestling instinct. Have you seen gorilla like two silverbacks?
They literally look like Daniel Cormier and Brock Lesnar with their necks and the way that they posture when they're about to shoot. It literally looks like wrestling.
Honestly, like I feel like I could coach them. I could be like, "Oh, go for the underhook. They'll get it. They have underhooks. They're getting collar ties. Like
yeah.
They go at it. They're pretty good.
But you'd have to speak gorilla, so you're like.
Honestly, like I don't think he would expect me to just jump on its back.
That's what I'm saying.
You know how like they kind of just like run by you and then they have like their back turned?
Exactly.
You ever see the videos of them just like do like an intimidation thing where they run past you and then they stop and you're supposed to like bow? I would like bow and then I would jump on its back and have it turn.
You would bow and then put your hand out like this, like you know, like from what's that movie? Planet of the Apes, and you would go like this, and then when he comes over to like tell you that you're okay, you would just jump on him and just strangle him.
Yeah, just fucking drag him through.
So definitely jiu-jitsu. You're not going to try to piece him up like your bare knuckle, BKFC.
No, I think they're just too tough. I think he's too tough he would take a shot.
Yeah, he could definitely take a shot.
Like I feel like I'd go to punch him and like he'd bite my hand off.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. Or like I'd hit him, but then he'd grab me and like they're so strong they just rip my neck off.
Yeah, 100%. I don't even think the single leg would make any sense. I think that you'd have to fake a takedown, make him look down, and then when he reacts, just try to like get an underhook and get to the back. That's the only way to do it.
Yeah, because they have like really short legs, so their center of gravity is really low. It's not like Bigfoot where he's going to be like long legs, and I might be able to get him off balance.
Yeah, that's gonna be difficult. But his arms are so long, he could reach up over his back and rip your spinal cord out while you're choking him. All right, over this.
I have one opportunity. If I get it locked, he has less than 10 seconds.
At least, right? Yeah, at least. Yeah. And his heart is going. Aaron, what do you think?
I think you're fucked.
If you see Aaron walking with a pair of shorts on and a t-shirt, he kind of looks like Bigfoot, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie. Literally his hands like brush his kneecaps while he's walking. It's very interesting.
Another thing I could do though is I could just low kick the shit out of him.
That's actually not a bad idea either. You just inside kick, low kick, just chop the knees because he's a bigger opponent. That's number one. He's not gonna catch a kick, and he's
not gonna check it either.
He's definitely not gonna check it. He doesn't know how to check it.
No, and he's never been hit by a low kick before. So you kick somebody who's never been kicked before, they can't walk.
What would you say? You're probably used to it a little bit, but me being a novice, a low kick is probably one of the most painful things that an average civilian can endure. It's like basically somebody taking a baseball bat and just smashing your leg with it, like over and over again.
Sucks. Yeah, I mean that's definitely my first go-to if somebody attacks me while I'm on the job.
It's just, have you done that before?
No, no.
I was going to say, because that's probably not in the police handbook.
Well, I mean, if they square up and try and hit me, I can protect myself. As long as I match the aggression or I can go one step above. That's the use of force handbook.
Use of force handbook. So, okay, so match aggression and then one step above. So if he throws a punch, you can collar tie and then just blast an elbow into his face?
No.
Okay, so that's...
Striking the head is considered deadly force.
Okay.
So I could hit the body, bring him down, control him. But like once, it's like a very fine line. Like once they are showing like any sign of like they're going to give up, I have to lighten up.
But that's what they do. And then as soon as you lighten up, they reach for your gun.
Yeah, well,
they get that little side look in their eye. They're like, "Oh, I got him."
Yeah, but if they grab the gun, that's technically I could use deadly force.
Oh, so it's
there implication to you being a trained fighter? Do they consider like if you had to go to court for police brutality or something, could they be like, "This guy's a trained bare knuckle fighter"?
I have to be very careful. I got to make sure I'm up to date, like on all the use of force and everything like that. But like being trained makes it easier. Like I can talk people down way easier because I'm very confident. It's like the guys that get jammed up are the ones that don't know how to fight, or they're just very, very basic on what they know, and they're nervous. And because they're scared if it does get physical, they're not going to be able to hold their own, and that's where it gets fishy, and guys lose their jobs. But knowing the amount of experience I have is not common, obviously, for law enforcement. But if you do have like an understanding, you train it all the time. Like, there's no reason why I shouldn't even have to use what I know, because I could talk people down. Be like, listen, like you keep a cool head. People feed off your energy. Like if they sense like you have an attitude and stuff like that, like it's going to escalate. So as long as you de-escalate, like 9 times out of 10, you don't have to. Honestly, getting into an altercation, like everybody gets hurt. So there's like no point in doing it. Like, why do I want to get hurt?
Yeah, but they don't care because they don't want to go back to jail again. So they don't care at that point.
Well, I mean, there comes to a certain point where, you've done your best to de-escalate and they're not doing it. And, you got to handle it accordingly.
Now there's a, I forgot, there was like a senator, I forgot who he was or somebody, but it was somebody pushing that all police officers should be a purple belt in jiu-jitsu.
I agree.
You agree? Okay. Yeah. Because I watch a bunch of because we talked about this on another episode, that my whole timeline, my whole algorithm is just filled with people getting Ukrainians. Number one, Ukrainians getting blown up by drones. Okay. Then number 2 is street fights. And then number 3 is police interactions. And usually somebody ends up getting shot to death. And a lot of the videos that you watch, like I'm just a fat guy that trained, you know what I mean? Like I just trained for a couple of years and I'm watching these cops and I'm like, what are you doing, dude? Like, why are you letting, like, how are you letting him get on top of you? Like, your life is literally on the line. Like, what are you doing?
It's bad. If you've never experienced an actual fight, like you're at a serious disadvantage because you do not know how you're going to react. Like you got to be able to stay calm. Like I had a situation where some drunk kid was just going all crazy. Parents called. They wanted him out of the house. He was like 25 years old. And we had to wrestle him and handcuff him. And like the guys were like, dude, you weren't even breathing heavy. I'm like this guy was like useless. Like I was like, you just got to stay calm. But you can only stay calm if you've been in a situation. So like if you're a purple belt in jiu-jitsu, you have several years of experience training, which is a good amount of experience. Usually, if you get to purple belt, you're considered a black belt that just hasn't trained long enough. So you got the skills, so you can handle yourself. And I mean, you should do competition. I think that you should do at least 1 or 2. just get comfortable feeling that pit in your stomach, at least once or twice. Like, that's important because that's as close as you're going to get to a real situation.
That's good advice. Or just go to Hoboken, New Jersey, and just have a couple drinks on Teak on the Hudson or Bahama Mama, and you're bound to get into some sort of fight for no reason. Apparently, that's pretty much what happens when you go to Hoboken at night.
Yeah, definitely do that before you go into the academy and start law enforcement.
I don't think I could do that. I worked at your chief's house. Couple, yeah. And he was really thankful. Dude, I did his water heater. His water heater blew. Jimmy called me and he's like, dude, we got a huge problem. Got to hook this guy up. He's a good friend of mine. This was before I think he was even on the force. And I went over there. I get like for cost. And I'm like, just letting you know, this is how much everything costs. This is how much I charge you. And he was like, oh, he's like, hold on. He like runs away. He comes back, gives me a chief card. Dude, that thing's got me out of some serious speeding issues, man. I'm telling you.
What's a chief card?
It's the chief of police has his own card in a lot of towns. And he gave me a card that says chief on it.
Yeah.
And I have a gold card for Port Authority too.
Look, I mean, he's the reason why I'm a cop. Guy's the man.
Now, is that whole force filled with just professional fighters? Because isn't Lyman a fighter too now? A cop now also?
No. He's
Lyman's not?
No.
Well, I thought I saw him in a uniform. Am I having like hallucinations? It's Jimmy, it's you, or and one other person, a couple other people?
We have this guy, Kevin Wilkins. He was in the NFL and then he started training with us and then he's a cop now. He's a big boy. He's like 6'3", 6'4", 280.
Bigger than Aaron, huh? 280.
Bigger than
he's an amateur right now, but I mean, when he goes pro, he's gonna make waves. The heavyweight division is very shallow with talent.
Really?
So yeah, he's a freak athlete. He's in the NFL. So,
do you think that I could get in Elmwood Park as a deputy?
Yeah, I don't see why not.
Even with his criminal record?
I've been arrested a couple times, but nothing crazy.
Yeah, you'd be all right.
But I'm 30. I think I'm 35 now.
So you wouldn't get the good pension.
Yeah, but with this plumbing stuff, bro, crawling around people's houses, it gets old, man.
I mean, look, you could start whenever you want. It's just the problem is 35 is the cutoff for the police and fire pension. So if you wanted to get that, you would have had to done it already. I think the other pension system now that you would be on if you started after 35 would be like the teacher's pension, which is not nearly as good.
All right. No, I thought about it a couple times. Maybe I'll be ice because ice wants guys now, right?
They'll hire anybody.
I mean, I see those videos, man. Those people's pants are falling down around their ass crack, and they're like trying to wrestle people. It's like, God damn, what's going on over here?
Crazy times.
We got off the rails there.
Whatever, it's fun. We're having fun. Who cares?
So I did want to ask you, and we can wrap it after this. We didn't talk too much about predator hunting. I think my number one hunt that I want to do now, Casey, is a grizzly.
Aaron, you're shooting too high. Same thing with the bird you're trying to get your hands on this year. You're shooting too high. You're looking too specific. Something that's going to be a little bit too much. Let's go out west with Chad Reynolds, a couple of his buddies, and let's kill a mountain lion first. And then we can go through all the grizzly stuff because that's a whole big process to get a grizzly tag. It's a nightmare.
Yeah, it's difficult.
Yeah, right.
Very difficult.
Has your uncle done that?
They currently are on one as we speak.
No way, really? Who's he with?
Yeah. I think my cousin. So his son. I think his two sons. I'm not 100% sure.
He's with an outfitter, right?
Yeah, he got this tag like years ago, and it kept getting pushed. So he's been waiting to do this. This is also the reason why.
Canada?
I'm not 100% sure.
Find out because I'm curious.
One of the two. It has to be one of the two because you can't hunt them anywhere else. So, and it's not cheap.
It's not cheap. It's like literally like a minimum like $20,000 ordeal basically with the guide, because if you're not an Alaska resident, you need a guide, housing.
I'm pretty sure sometimes it's like lottery too. Like you don't always get the tag.
Correct. Yeah, correct.
So like, yeah, you would have to, if you wanted to do it and guarantee a tag, you got to go through somebody who's a resident of that area because they get first dibs on tags. So you buy the tag off of them and then you go through hunting through them, which is why I think it gets so pricey, because like you're paying for the tag and then you're paying for the trip and all that.
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah.
That's something you could see yourself doing?
If I had the opportunity to, I would.
I think you keep knocking people out in 20 seconds. I think some opportunities will come to you. And I'm telling you, my buddy in Spain, you just say the word and I vouch for you. I'll talk to him. He'll hook you up. I mean, it's not, it's just the flight and the stay and whatever, but they'll put you on all kinds. It's like a whole thing package, and you shoot this, that, the other thing. And then it's like, you know how it is with these kind of things. It's like, I want to shoot that one. And they're like, all right, that one is this much money. It's kind of like that, but it's,
yeah, I went hunting in South Africa, and that was kind of like that. It was pretty cool. My uncle, we did like a fantasy draft of like animals. So we were picking like which ones we wanted and stuff like that. And we all had like a package of like 6 or 7 animals that we were trying to go for. That was fun as hell.
Oh, that sounds cool. Were you hunting over water?
No. We would take trucks out and we would go in different areas, and then we'd get out and just hike and walk plains and stuff like that. We would stop by watering holes and wherever. And just it was crazy because like there's so many different wildlife there. Like a herd of like antelope would come this way, and then half hour later, like a whole nother herd of animal come this way, and you're like, what the fuck is that? There's so many. I was like studying a book on just like the animals I was going to encounter because I was trying to figure it out.
That's crazy. Yeah, and it's kind of like Africa's kind of like if you go to Alaska, where you like automatically get like a wolf tag when you buy your hunting license for moose or something. But over there, it's like you automatically get a baboon tag.
Oh, they baboons are a nuisance there. So like where we are hunting, it's all citrus farms. So it's lemons and oranges and all that. And the baboons come down from the mountains and just like wreck their crops.
Just
so, like,
suck all those freaking citrus fruits dry.
Yeah, they want you to shoot all of them.
Yeah, it's crazy. I watched the video of Bowman using that guy. What's his name? Bowman? Something Bowman. Big jack, huge jack guy, and he always goes to Africa all the time. He put an arrow in the Aaron. What is it?
Mandrill.
What's the baboons like? What's
the colorful ones? Yeah, I wanted one so bad, but they weren't near where we are.
Dude, he put it right in the heart of that thing, and even he said he was like, "Oh my god, that was violent to watch that thing. It looked like a person. Like he just shot it in the chest with an arrow from like 80 yards away." It was nuts, dude. It's crazy.
Yeah, dude, it's freaky because they got like fingernails and all that. Like it's weird.
I couldn't do it.
I could do it, Aaron.
I know you could do it,
Mike. There's people over there with birds of prey with eagles catching monkeys and stuff, and they say
that's sick.
Yeah, they say. I remember I heard a podcast with Lauren. We're gonna get Lauren on the show if she'll stop being elitist. She was over there and they caught like when they're catching these like the bird catches the monkey, and it's not like over here we catch a squirrel or a rabbit. It looks like a little person like trying to like pry the feet off. It's crazy,
dude. And they're screaming, and you're like, "Holy shit!"
Yeah, it's nuts, man. It's a different world over there, but no, that's cool that you had that opportunity. I think.
I'll leave it with this story. So
go ahead.
When I shot a baboon when I was out there. I shot it at 400 yards, and I was on the side of a cliff, freehanding, and it was running up the other mountainside. I shot it as it was quartering away, and it fell off a cliff. It took us 2.5 hours to hike up and back down to go get it. It fell, thankfully, on like a rock ledge. It dead. And we were able to get it, and we had to hike it all the way back out. It was an insane hunt. We had originally saw the herd of them like 800 yards away.
The troop. They're called a troop.
Yeah, the troop of them. And the guide was like just pulled over and he's like, all right, you're going to take a shot. I'm like, 800 yard shot. He's like, yeah. He's like, I'm going to tell you which one to shoot for. And then you're just going to aim like a foot above it. I was like, okay. So I literally put my sights on it and I missed an 800 yard shot by like this much. So close. But then they went over the mountainside. So we were like, all right, let's go cut them off. So we get in the car and we're driving and we're trying to cut them off. And then all of a sudden, a baboon came out from behind us on the other side of the mountain peak. And the guide was like, when the troop is threatened, there's one that goes as a scout and they go behind the threat and scope it out. And then they meet up to tell the other ones like what's going on.
That's crazy.
And that was the one I ended up getting. And we were sitting there, we're like, fuck, we're not going to get to them. And we just see that one baboon running up the mountainside. I was like, holy shit, that's the one. And then I took it. Crazy.
Oh my God, that's nuts. Now, what did you guys do? Were you able to bring the skull home? Did you eat it? Did you eat the brains?
So in South Africa, everything you shoot, all the meat and everything gets donated to the indigenous tribes and the farmers that you're hunting on their property. We take the hides. They give us like little pieces of meat here and there, like a couple cuts just to take back to camp, but they take everything. So that's kind of like the trade-off. They let you hunt on their property, they get the meat. So, that's how it works over there because there's no public land in South Africa, at least to my knowledge. It's all private. You're hunting on farmers' property. They kind of maintain and keep track of what animals are on their land because they've got hundreds of thousands of acres. It's crazy.
And you're doing them a favor too, especially if they're growing stuff.
Yeah.
There's a lot of, you're doing them, you're helping out the economy.
A lot of them take care of the animals there too. So like they'll monitor like the herds. They got cameras all over their property. Like they know what populations are on there and they'll tell the guides ahead of time, be like, hey, like this herd of animals, like you could take these few, you could take these ones, these are older, they'll tell them ahead of time before we even get there. So like the guides already know like which ones we're going to be going for because the landowners kind of told them ahead of time. So that's kind of how it works. But I did not eat monkey because that's sketchy as fuck.
It's only
what you did with the body.
It's only sketchy if you eat the brains and the spinal, the nerve stem.
Monkey brains.
Yeah, I don't know. That's the only one that I did not try.
You didn't even try it when did they cook it at least?
No.
So you would have had to make you would have had to like insist on it to try it.
Yeah,
I gotcha.
Yeah, and then they're looking at you like you're a weirdo. No, I want to eat the monkey.
They eat everything.
Let me eat the monkey.
Yeah, they eat everything. But no, we took all the hides back. Like I got a full mount of that baboon.
Whoa, so that's cool.
I think
you have a trophy room.
No, so a lot of those animals, my uncle out in Wyoming built like a museum on his property. So we just sent all of them there. I'm actually waiting. There's one animal I got a European mount of a kudu skull. And that's the one with like the spiral antlers.
Yeah, those things are amazing. You ever seen what they do with those horns? So what they're for? You ever seen that?
No.
When a lion jumps on their back, you ever see what they can do with those things? They pull their head forward and then they stab it backwards. That's what they're for. It's crazy, dude. They'll literally impale a lion on their back with those things. It's nuts. That's an antelope species. That's an amazing. You got one of those too?
Yeah, their nickname's the Gray Ghost.
Exactly. Yes.
They're like 500-600 pound antelope, but they're just so hard to find. Yeah, I got one. I shot it at 370 yards, and when I hit it, it just dropped right where I hit it. It was crazy. I've never seen anything like that. I was like, damn, that was like, it was great because like they're hidden in like thorn bushes. Like everything is a thorn bush in Africa. So like the fact that it dropped in the only spot you could see, I was like, thank God it made us getting it out that much easier.
That's amazing. And you weren't hunting over water or food or anything like that, and you still got one because that's a big accomplishment too.
Dude, the guides are like, so we would have guides and then we would have like native guys that were trackers. And I'm not even kidding. Like it blows my mind how good they are at tracking. We'd be driving down a dirt road at like 30 miles an hour, and they would slam on the truck, be like, stop, kudu tracks. And we're like, how the fuck did you see that?
The way the sand was moved to the side, I could see that the kudu crossed here about 4 or 5 hours ago.
They literally get out of the truck, they're looking, they're like, see kudu tracks. I'm like, first of all, how did you even see it? We were going 30 miles an hour. And then he goes, he's looking around, he goes, kudu's about 50 yards over there. I'm like, how do you know? Little do you know, we start walking, it's there.
That's nuts. That is crazy.
Fucking crazy, dude. Crazy.
Yeah, those guys, I heard so many stories about those guys.
Uncle looking for new nephews.
Yeah,
Mike?
I was just gonna say, bro, we all need an uncle like this, man. Where's my uncle like this? My uncle, I have one uncle, and he's down in. I got one uncle we don't talk to. I got another one in Florida, and he is he's an interesting individual. I'm not gonna.
He's a parrot enthusiast.
He's a parrot enthusiast. I will say that he likes birds. And that's about it. I don't have any cool uncles other than my buddy. He's kind of like my uncle, I guess. Known him my whole life. Who's got the Spain outfitting business, dude? That's amazing, man. I heard hunting in Africa is like it'll change your life. I heard.
It was like a once in a lifetime experience because I don't know if I'll ever go again. Like, that's just
Jason's scared to death of South Africa right now.
Yeah, bro. They're going to chop me up with that machete.
Yeah, probably. We got in and out at the right time.
Yeah, were you warned about anything like that driving around down there?
No, it wasn't as crazy as it was now, or as it is now. But
yeah, allegedly, right? Because it's just a big conspiracy.
Yeah, who the hell knows? But like a lot of the guides actually talked about how like the government there is very against the white people and they want them all out. So
yeah, we heard. We had what was her name, Aaron? That was somebody you recommended we had on the show. She's she trained anti-poaching dogs for like the outfitters and farms that you were hunting at, and they would like track poachers and stuff. And
Cameron Finnan, she's actually over there right now. Did you see that?
I did not see that.
She went back to Africa.
She went back to the homeland. She was super cool. She talked about training the dogs, tracking poachers, and
smashing the poachers' testicles between the rocks.
Smashing the cock and balls in the rock when they are in there poaching.
That's fucking wild.
But she wouldn't like confirm that, but that's basically the gist of what she was telling us, that when those anti-poaching guys catch people poaching, they make sure that they never do it again, if you get what I'm saying.
They make sure they never have children again, too.
They will not reproduce ever again.
That's crazy. There's no laws down there.
Yeah, it's nuts, man. But that's awesome that you got that experience. I'd love to experience. Yeah. I'd love to do that. I'd probably catch like Ebola or something from a mosquito. Right? No, do you have to get all kinds of vaccines and stuff like that going down there?
Nope. So the only thing you had to be updated on was like tetanus. But the time of the year we were in was like we weren't in danger of any of like West Nile or any of that crazy shit.
Yeah, you were there in the winter?
Yeah, we went in November. So my uncle actually got tick fever when we were out there. So like 2 days, he was like 103 fever, just dying, but still went out hunting. Because he was hunting, like he had a whole list of like these nocturnal animals that he was hunting. So he was going out at night when all of us were coming back. And he got like some crazy animals, like these like cool foxes and shit, like wild stuff. Like it's so sick.
Oh, that's cool.
He's trying. I think he's just trying to like knock off every type of species that you could possibly hunt. Like if it's huntable, he's going for it.
Oh, that's cool. He's got you and your uncle got to take a trip with my buddy in Spain. He'll put you on a whole bunch of stuff and you'll have a good time.
He's probably been there.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, yeah, he's probably already been there. He's probably already been to Argentina, all that stuff down there.
He's hunted like on every continent so far.
Oh, this guy's awesome.
Yeah, he's been everywhere.
That's a dude. To have that guy as a mentor teaching you how to hunt, that's a huge plus, man. It really is.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. It really is.
Yeah. Well, let's get you a new bow. Let's get you a Hoyt Carbon. and then let's put you in a ladder stand at my house, and you could shoot a nice doe for the freezer.
Hell yeah! I have an empty freezer, and I have a chest freezer that's empty too that needs filling. I got it specifically because I wanted to fill it with elk, and it has not been filled.
Well, we could put some whitetail in there in the meantime.
Yeah, that's fine.
Just whenever you want. Season's open right now. I think it just the early doe season, and I think buck's open too up here. So just get your New York tag, swing over, put you in a stand, and we'll get it done.
Hell yeah, I'll hit you
Easy
up.
peasy. Aaron, anything else you want to add before we wrap this thing?
No, man, I'm good. Thank you, Mike. It's good to meet you, man.
Yeah, likewise. No, thanks for having me.
Mike, thanks for your time, man. It was congratulations on your win, and we appreciate your time, man.
Hell yeah. Thanks, guys.